Doodle-doodle, 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 bum. Ba 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 ba.
Thank you.
Well, greetings, Mary.
How are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you. And I see Carol is busy on her phone, either doing other things or trying to figure out the last stuff on this.
Yeah.
So greetings to Hawaii.
Thank you. Mahalo. Weather's been good so far, so yeah. We've been getting some more COVID cases, but yeah.
Yes, I know Hawaii had locked down pretty tight, at least compared to the mainland.
Yeah.
At different times.
So it's more open now, but they're still keeping a handle on things, and they think there might be another variant showing up called the Lambda.
Yes, I was reading about that earlier today.
So.
It's only being investigated, so they do not yet know if it's how it compares to the other variants.
Right.
Or the quote original.
Yeah. Well, school started here, so.
Yes, I have cousins whose children, started school on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Last week.
Yeah.
We're still fairly hunkered down here.
Oh, okay. I said join with computer audio, and it says you are connected to computer audio. So
yes, we can hear you now, Carol.
Okay. Yes. Now I can't hear you very well. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm trying to figure out how I get audio louder. I did push my little thing down below on the header thingy or the footer. I did push it to 100 as far as on my computer, but I can barely hear you. But you know what? I have a set of earphones. Right now I'm speaking to the Mortons. I'm going to let you go, guys, and I'm going to run in the living room and I'm going to grab my earphones. Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. All righty. Bye-bye. Be right back.
Okay.
I'm here, and soon Van will be here with us. So Van does not speak much. He is difficult to understand. He gurgles a bit. He's had some surgeries to improve things, and I think he's in a rehab center.
Stop. Hey,
I hear puppy.
They don't sound very puppy. They sound fully mature dogs.
Oh yeah, I call them
smaller, under 22 pounds. And
yeah,
there's Van looking more Vanny, but not Van-y.
We're going to have a dog to sit on Saturday.
Stop, or I'm going to put you out and shut the door.
What a threat.
Oh, no.
Of course, we can
No.
talk about Carol because she can't quite hear us yet.
Well, I came in my bedroom so that when they barked at everybody that walked by to go to the 7-Eleven, I wouldn't have to listen to the barking. I thought they'd stay in the other room, but they heard you talking and they think somebody's here.
Who's not petting them?
Yes.
Okay, we're not hearing anything from you this moment, Carol. I assume that's because your headphone is halfway plugged in. Interesting view.
Maybe it was on the other side.
Ah, yes, now I can hear Carol.
Well, I had to take them out. So you can hear me, but I'm still having problems hearing you because evidently I don't have this in the right place. Never
Oh.
mind.
The
Okay.
usual, the most likely problem with that is you ended up plugging your microphone into the speaker jack. It's an easy, they're
Oh.
identical looking. And so there's usually another jack exactly like that first one right next to it, and try that one instead.
Okay, now on the left side of my computer, there's only one hole, and that wasn't it. So then that's why I was going to the right side to see if there was another little round hole like this one, but there is not. I wonder if there's anything at the bottom.
No, unlikely. It's likely that it's a combined, speaker microphone.
Okay, well, I can hear you, but it's like it's very, very low. So that's okay. That's okay, because mostly I just wanted to read the stuff that I've been gathering for you guys. And let's see. Now I'm not seeing Rowan up there, although George, when I was talking to him this morning, said Rowan had come to his house with her lap computer specifically to be able to plug into this. So
Okay.
I don't know, if that's going to be successful or not, but she's at his house, at George's house. So maybe it's not 2 o'clock yet. Not quite. Okay.
No, it is not quite. I'm going to message George on Facebook to say, hey, hope we get to see you today.
Yes. Well, see, George was sitting right there next to her. So, and also it just so happens that Sister Chris and John DeChancy are also there today at his house. So I don't know whether they'll peek over and we'll get a chance to see them or not. But I talked to all the Gales except Barbara Harmon. Didn't get a hold of Barbara.
Oh. See you later. God
Well,
bless.
most of them, I say most of them. I knew that Mary was going to be on, so I didn't bother calling her for an update. And okay, I was just still looking to see, make sure I have all my notes together, but I do. I just can't hear very well, and I thought that's what my brother gave me that thing for, so that I would plug it in and be able to hear. Someone had made me a copy of that Enola Holmes movie.
Oh, right. Yes.
And they evidently it's a guy that's his business, is to find old or rare or whatever films and things. And while he was at it, he ran that off for me. So that was supposed to help me hear the movie better. But for some reason, and I wonder, is there a left ear and a right ear? I mean, is there a way to tell if I've got him in the wrong ear? I mean, I'm almost deaf in one ear, so maybe I should try again and just switch them back and forth and see if one earpiece is better than the other. Let me try that.
Yes, I'll be like Van and I'll put things in chat for Carol to be able to read, whether or not she'll be able to hear, because she can always catch up on being able to read. And look,
My daughter got me these new ear things, and
Oh,
there is a right and there is a left.
I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you.
And
I did an ear test recently, and because I'm part of a 4-generation deficit in hearing.
Okay.
Four of us are all deaf in one ear, and we're all the females all the way down the line.
Wow.
In four generations.
Yeah.
So I never really questioned it when I had bad hearing in one ear. I just figured, oh, this is hereditary. But then they said, oh, it's too bad you didn't come earlier. We probably could have given you some kind of a hearing aid.
Hello, anybody?
Hi there.
You can
yes,
hear
I can
me?
hear Van.
I got this new noise canceling headphone and it plugs into a USB port. Both the sound and the microphone go through the same port.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to unmute Carol now.
Oh, okay. Now I hear why you muted her. Okay.
There's a lot of noise in her room.
With
Well,
dogs and fans.
Well,
Yes, I can hear you now.
there wasn't supposed to be until they heard your voices. They thought somebody was in the room with me, so they ran in. Okay. All right. Yes, I can hear. And if
Good.
you can hear me, okay, good. We're good. Now, do you want to wait a little longer? Do you normally wait like 5 minutes or so past the hour, or do you want me to get started? Now, I plan to take everything I'm going to tell you and put it in an email, mail it out to everybody, because some of us, aren't here. And then after that's done, I'm going to mail it to the people that don't have computers, such as Pat Robleski and Norma Butts. They don't use their computers anymore. So I will then mail them everything that, I impart today. So you guys just tell me when you want me to get going. Otherwise, you guys can jump right in there and do your thing.
Well, we normally wait about a half an hour because some people are a little slow to join us. But
Yes, I have been slow at times. Last week I didn't get here till 3, but you'd already left.
I only see myself, Chris, Mary, and Carol right now. And I expected to see a few more.
Yeah,
Well,
I sent George a message asking if we would see him and sent him a copy of the link.
Okay, thank you. And like I said, he's got Rowan there, and his sister Chris and John DeChancy are all at least in the house. Okay. I don't know that they knew about the meeting, but they're all there.
Well, good. I figure, hey, Carol can start in, 1 minute. That would be 5 after the hour. Because 80% of the people who are going to show will be here by then.
Okay, I'm watching my.
Does that
My
sound
clock.
reasonable? I mean, this is Van's meeting, so anything that Van says.
No, actually, it's really, I'm hosting it, but it's not my meeting. It's really Carol's meeting because she's the president. So I just sort of run the computer stuff.
Okay, well, I'll be back in 1 minute. I'm gonna go get myself a drink of water.
Okay, because all I was going to say is anything I impart anyway is going to go out in an email to everyone. So they won't lose too much if they tune in 20 minutes and they missed part of it. So we'll wait for Chris to get back.
Anyway, hi, Mary. It's
How
nice,
are you?
nice to see you again.
Good seeing you. It's just a little after 11 o'clock in the morning here in Hawaii.
How's the weather?
It's been very nice. It's been like some places have gotten a little bit of rain, but partly cloudy here and there, but it's been nice weather so far. And some of the designated storms that were supposed to bring in more moisture kind of fizzled out. So we haven't had any like tropical storm threats or something like that.
Okay, Dan just logged in.
Okay. Yeah, he said he was going to try.
Yeah.
Oh, and I thought we weren't going to expect Dan. I thought he
Well,
had
I had talked to Dan this morning and he said he was going to try, you know.
Good. Okay.
So, yeah. Yeah, some people I talked to yesterday or the day before, and then with callbacks and everything, then I still had some today.
well, it's appreciated, Carol, the work you do
Thank
trying
you.
to make sure who's still alive.
Yes, exactly. Well, we did talk when I was talking to Dan. I told him I just miss Tony Steele so much. I was calling her like every other day, and you know, that kind of thing. And when I got her that jewelry on that last Thanksgiving, I had no idea that her birthday was November 27th. And that was the birthday that she would have turned 100. Now, I know that she didn't mention it to me because whenever you say, oh, it's my birthday, people say, how old are you? And she never wanted anybody to know. So I just said, happy Thanksgiving. And then I sent her the jewelry and she just loved it. It had a necklace, it had a pendant, it had a bracelet, it had earrings, and it had a scarf, a silk scarf, all in the fall colors and maple leaves and all that kind of stuff. And she loved them. And I'm so glad because it's the last time I got to talk to her.
Wow. Yeah.
So,
What a
yeah.
blessing.
Okay, Dan is finally live.
Oh yes, I forgot to plug in my camera because I had my phone plugged in so I could update the music on my iTunes, and I forgot to plug in my camera. So now I have my camera.
There you go.
And yeah, and so hello to Carol and Chris, Mary, and Van.
And I love your hat.
Oh,
Mike,
thank you, thank you. Well.
And I talked with Mike this morning, Mike Mallory, and he would definitely have approved of that hat.
Oh,
yes,
yeah, he would.
absolutely.
Yes, yes. And I have this little friend.
He's so cute.
Yeah, and that's from Carol. That's
from the gnomes.
Sherlock Gnome.
Yeah,
yes,
Sherlock Gnomes. Yes.
Yeah, he's checking out Chris over here. Yeah.
Yes.
And Chris said, "Oh, Santa
yeah, he's giving us a preview."
Wow! Oh, look,
he's giving us a preview up there. Yeah,
it's magic.
Yeah, we need Santa.
We need more Santa. Yeah, with the and the Northern Lights.
Yeah,
that's the Northern Lights, right?
Well, they could be the Southern Lights.
Oh yeah,
yes.
oh yeah, behind him. Yes, absolutely.
I want to know how Chris is able to get a moving background. I tried doing it, and I've not been able to get it working. I've got the Sherlock background on right now, and you know, that's from the Cumberbatch series.
Oh, okay.
But he's got moving.
Wow.
Yeah. It changed it again. But how do you get them? How do you get a GIF or a moving image on your background?
I do not know. It could be done with a cycling color palette rather than an actual animation. You know, a quarter
Oh,
century ago when this, in the early days, we would have cheated and done this by cycling the colors
Oh, okay.
because we couldn't actually move things. That was too expensive.
Huh,
You could
that's
change
weird.
colors on
is that
things.
like the thing that used to turn at the base of the Christmas tree? The Christmas tree would be green one minute and then blue and then red, and like, because it was a
Right,
turning
It was a
thing, and
multicolored,
yeah,
spinning disc.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to get a background that was moving with a flying saucer, but
Oh,
it didn't move. It just sat there. And then the only way I got the flying saucer up was to use a screen share, but that wasn't a good thing.
mhm.
Correct. Screen share took over the whole screen from everybody. And
Yeah. Oh, you
Yeah.
got Game of Thrones behind you.
no,
now.
actually, this was the logo for the
Looks
World
like
Fantasy Convention last year.
Oh, I was gonna say
Oh, okay.
anime. It looked like anime to me.
It looks like
you know.
steampunk to me. Yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
it was
Yeah,
a steampunky, but it was for the
Ah.
World Fantasy Convention last year.
Wow.
Wow.
I have a background. It's called Suburban Kitchen.
Yes, yes.
No, it's it's just real. It's yeah.
It's
I tell
real.
students, I say, "Welcome to my kitchen."
Yes.
And now you're in Hawaii on the beach, Chris.
Right, and you can see this one's animated too. I don't know
Wow.
where I
should be
got
able
these.
to
I may
see
have
you right down the
downloaded
road.
them somewhere.
Wow.
Well, I heard you like requires a lot of bandwidth for those backgrounds, or because Zoom will tell me your computer is
Wimpy.
wimpy. Yeah, your computer is not up to the task. I say, oh, you mean my Commodore 64 is outdated?
Right, you got to move to that 128.
Yeah.
And add the or your original Amiga.
I remember the Amiga. I never had an Amiga. My first one was the Commodore VIC-20.
Oh,
And then-
really
and-
early. Okay, yes.
And then I upgraded by going to the Commodore 64.
That's right. The VIC-20 had the 20 character lines and the Commodore 64
Yes.
had 64 characters per line.
Yes, and then I had a 20 baud modem that I found at a convention at a flea market. So I bought
Oh.
that.
There's never been a 20. There was the 110 baud.
Oh,
There
okay.
were 300 baud. There were
Maybe 300 baud. Yeah. Maybe I said, yeah, maybe it just felt like 20, but yeah, it was 300 baud.
Yeah, 300 baud. And depending on the modem, if this was on your Commodore 64, there were peaks and pokes you could do to crank it up to, 450 baud.
Okay.
Well,
'Cause I
I
remember
only
doing
had
that.
two. I only had two tuna cans and a string. You
Yeah.
know.
Oh, yeah.
Between
Oh,
me
you
and the
had a
neighbor
string.
next door.
I just had
Yeah.
to shout really loud.
Yeah,
I had
that's
two
the
megaphones.
20 baud. Yeah.
We had a dial phone with a party line.
Oh, party
Oh,
line.
Yeah, we had a party line. Our very first one was a party line. Yes.
Four
yes.
party line was the cheapest. And when we got our private line, we thought we had made it in the world.
Yeah, there's
I
a
remember-
play called Trifles where it starts where these men go to this farmer's house and they say, we want to ask John if he wants to go in on a party line. And I never thought to explain that to the students because I have my students read that play. They probably have no idea what the hell we're talking about, but it turns out
Right, obviously,
John,
it's throwing money in to buy a keg. I mean,
yeah,
that's what a
yeah, it's like, what's a party line? Yeah. And then and it turns out he's been murdered by his wife, and that's why he can't come to the door. So that's anyway.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we could do that play sometimes. It's called Trifles,
Oh,
but it's not really Sherlock Holmes, but it's a feminist play because by the end of the play, you start thinking, oh, that's why the wife murdered her husband. Okay, I think I understand her now.
Oh, beat him to death with the leg of lamb, which she then cooked and fed the detectives. Yes. we
I remember
Oh,
that
yeah,
one.
that's the,
Yeah.
Alfred Hitchcock Presents. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our party line had a gentleman, and that you use the term loosely, a
No.
gentleman who used to talk sex over the phone, right? So I pick up the phone one day because I'm supposed to make a call for my mom,
Uh-huh.
and he's talking, and I'm listening, I don't know that I understood everything he was saying. And my mother
heavens.
comes over and she sees my face and she picks up the phone and she said, "Mister, my daughter is only 6. Call back when she's 16." And she hung up the phone.
You thought he was talking to you, right?
Oh,
Wow.
Oh,
yeah.
No, I
dear.
remember only having to dial 4 digits to call people.
All 4 digits? Oh,
Yeah. You know,
Well, I remember like Oregon, such and such, and Orchard, this
oh,
and all like that.
Oh,
And-
the prefixes. Yeah.
yeah, and I told my dad, how does the telephone know the difference between the OR for Orchard and the OR for Oregon? Because both of them were in our
Oh.
area.
Uh-huh.
And my dad said, "Oh, there's a prefix thing there that tells them, which one to continue
oh.
on with, But as a kid, that kind of, I was wondering how the phone knew that,
yeah.
I always
no, we
wanted to
had a-
dial Pennsylvania 65000, but
Yeah, right.
Oh.
right.
Right, or
Yeah.
867-5309.
309, yeah, I'm sure a lot
The
of people
most
dialed
famous
that.
number in the world.
Well, you know
Yeah.
what? If we didn't have dial phones, we would never have had the movie Dial M for Murder. I'll
Right.
tell
Yeah.
you that, because that's the
Exactly.
one thing they always show is the dial with the M,
Right.
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 It sounds
Dial
better
M
than
for
like
murder.
touch M for murder. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or press M. Even pressing, like students today don't understand, well, why do you have to press a button? You just touch it, and
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because
There's
it's like the keyboard on your computer. If they, because somebody in their family still has a desktop with a keyboard and you have to
Yes.
actually press.
Yeah. So
Right,
there's the
right.
press. Yeah.
They know the word dial, I know.
They don't know the word dial. Yeah. You're right, honey.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was brought up too, that a lot of the
Yeah, like,
terms
what
that
is
we
that?
still use,
Right.
a lot
right.
of the term the kids have to think about because they're not automatic, to them,
Right.
No.
right.
yeah. You
We
dialed a
go
wrong
for-
number. What do you mean I dialed a
I-
wrong number?
yeah.
Now, why
Yeah.
does it say dial?
What's
yeah,
a videotape anyway?
Yeah. But I find that some, when kids learn about these old forms of technology, they become really interested in it. Like,
Right. Yeah.
like young people who find out about 33 and a third records really want to collect them, and they want to, they want to play them. And I mean, I
Right.
don't think they want to rely on them as their only source of music, but when I hear some like Fleetwood Mac songs now, when I first heard them or when I first bought the albums, they skip so many times that when I hear that song on the radio, I think of it skipping, so
Uh-huh.
like I think of the skipping version, and I think that's almost like the normal version to me. So
Mhm.
it's
Well,
nice
you-
not to have the skipping.
You must be great at a sing-along.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like I'm stuttering. Yeah.
Oh. Well, we still
Well,
Yeah.
you guys
get
want to hear
telephone
any of
books
this
here.
stuff?
Yeah.
Do you think it's okay, or should we wait some more? Should I start reading you some of this stuff, or should we wait some more?
Go right ahead and read. I'm fine with it.
Okay, now
Sounds
this is an email that I got this morning from Mike Mallory. And he says he has a book coming out. It's a reissue, or an updated and a revised version of his Universal Studios Monster series. And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
going to be due out in October. And I said, oh,
Oh.
just in time for Halloween, Then he has these Dave Beauchamp mysteries. And this is a guy that's like 30 years old. He's a detective, but he likes old style stuff. He likes old black and white movies. He goes to these conventions like the ones that
Cool.
Beverly
Mhm.
Garland holds now, where you buy a portrait, buy an 8x10 glossy, and then you
Oh, yeah.
stand in line and get it signed or something,
Oh, we've gone
So-
to those. Yeah,
Well-
Chris has gone to those.
Well, I proof his Dave Beauchamp mysteries. And so I think this is the fourth one. And it says, my Dave Beauchamp mystery, Bada Bing, Bada Tomb, will be
Oh,
out
no.
this month on Wild Side Press. Willing,
Oh,
he said, willing.
okay.
So I guess they're mulling it over. Then he says, I currently have stories online in both Thriller Magazine and Mystery Tribune.
Wow.
I currently have a story in a hardcover anthology called Die Laughing, which came out last month.
Yeah.
In September, I'll have a Holmes story in the latest MX anthology, volume 30, I think he said.
Oh.
In October, I'll have a story in Mystery Weekly's annual Holmes issue. He says he has a piece on the new Space Jam in the
Oh, yeah.
current
Oh,
animation magazine.
Okay.
I've sold a story to Alfred Hitchcock Mystery Magazine, but that won't be out until next year, likely. And then he says, during the pandemic, I've been doing little else except writing. Our mobility has also been hindered by a car accident.
Oh,
No one was hurt, but the
Oh.
car was out of commission for quite a while.
Oh.
And then he said, hope all is well with you and the Gales. Best, Mike.
nice.
That
Okay.
Mike, he's so lazy. He just lays around, does nothing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And he calls himself a writer.
I
you
know.
Yeah,
Come
yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Get back to work, Mike.
Okay. Now, one slightly just disturbing thing.
Mallory? He's the one who wears a hat like this. I'm telling Anhthao who Mike
Yeah.
is.
Oh yeah. Mike Mallory. Yeah, he's the one that always comes in a hat. Yes.
Right.
Every meeting he wears it to the meeting too. Well, I called Platt Robleski. Now I've been calling her frequently every couple of weeks, just to make sure she's okay.
Mhm.
Now she has that Bernadette still living with her, and Bernadette has the 2 kids. And when Bernadette moved in, I think one kid was 8, plus she was pregnant with the little
Oh.
girl. But we have since seen the kids growing more and
Yes.
more during like last Christmas party and like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So anyway, that lady lives there. Now that lady had an outside job and actually took her kids to 2 different babysitters because one was in school and one was a baby. And then all of a sudden she lost her job due to COVID. And, Pat said, well, why don't you just stay home? So she stays with her. And then the Social Security has allowed her a caregiver. So she does have someone that comes in and sweeps and makes meals and stuff like that. But normally when I call her, she answers by the 3rd ring. Today, I started to hang up because it went past the 3rd ring, but on the 4th ring, she picked up, but her voice sounded really weak. And I said, Pat, are you okay? And she says, well, yes, I've got the caregiver here and everything. She said it might be the heat, possibly, because, she doesn't have any air conditioning or anything in that house. She's got that floor furnace,
Yeah.
But anyway, I hope that she's going to be feeling better. But she did perk up. By the time we got into conversing, she perked up, and then she said, now don't forget, anytime you guys want to use my house for a meeting of any kind, I'm here, love to have you,
That's
that
nice.
kind of thing. So that's nice. Now she doesn't travel much away from the house because she's still got that bladder issue that they're trying to fix. Okay. So she stays pretty close to home.
Oh.
Okay. Now, Don Abrams, and he may be even hearing us today because he said yesterday's meeting and the previous Gales meeting, he listened to on his cell phone. He's got a fancy cell phone and he can hear it. But he said, I think if I want to interject, I could, but generally he just listens, and he was very pleased with the meeting yesterday. He said, if you were, a novice or a beginning writer or whatever, she had a lot of good tips yesterday on the website for the manuscriptors thing. And so anyway, he's still driving food around on Tuesdays and Thursdays. He says the heat is really getting to him. Like this last week, on his last day of work that week, he only had 1 box to deliver the lady had called him and asked him for a box for something this weekend, and Thursdays is his last day of his business week. So he had to drive it all the way out to Disneyland.
Oh,
I mean, we're here at the LAX and he's driving all the way to Disneyland. So anyway, but so anyway, I told him he should send a menu of his foods to Van, for people in Southern California.
Oh, yeah.
And let you guys see what he's got on the menu.
Yeah, we have Don's menu, and so when we have our party, I mean, we're eventually going to have a party, and we'll use Don,
Right.
as our caterer.
Well, I just ordered some cordon bleu from him and it was delicious. Absolutely delicious. Yes. Okay. Then next I talked to George McUrso. Now he said that his foot ulcer is not doing well and even seems to be getting worse. So he is going to correct that and all of his efforts will be directed to it. So he won't be going anywhere until probably next year. And so he said that he's not gonna, he's gonna spend, like if he's been spending time watching old movies or whatever on TV, every bit of that is going to be concentrated on that foot until he sees some improvement. Okay.
That's
Now, Rowan, and she was with him today at the house. Rowan is going to be 26 on the 23rd of this month. And she will resume classes in 2 weeks at Irvine Valley College.
Oh.
And she said, if you see any Facebook messages from a Vivian Dow, that is her birth name, and she is using it now outside of the Gales, of course. But she still wants us to call her Rowan. So that's fine.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, because I was when I saw that one message, I thought, oh, is she saying we should use Vivian? But she told me, I called her today and she said, no, call me Rowan. Okay. Yeah. And then it says, Chris, his sister, George's sister, is still working as a nurse. She says they are understaffed and no one is going on vacation, with the COVID, in these big stages that they are. John DeChancy is fine regarding his heart problems, but he is not traveling at the moment, and his lectures at colleges back east have tempered off for now because nobody knows exactly what rules are going to apply where, for what school and all that. And I was very surprised this morning when I was listening on TV to this lady who is the head of all of the teachers association, like for the whole United States. She's like the head lady. And the narrator said to her, doesn't it bother you that some elementary school teachers have refused to get vaccinated? Because she said those kids can't even get the vaccine. And yet if she got it, she could give it to them and they have no protection. I mean,
I just find it to their grandparents.
Well, yeah, but I'm just meaning that in the beginning, before we got these variants, in the beginning, it was usually older people and 1 or 2 per family that got it. But now they say that this thing spreads so fast that when the carrier gets it and he walks through the front door, if there's 5 people in the house, they'll have it within like 2 days. Everybody will have it regardless of age. It doesn't matter. Those are the
reports that it's as contagious as chickenpox.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
And, Mary Caldera wrote a poem that's kind of on that subject. So I could read it later if you want.
Well, why don't we take a break and you can read it now while we're on the subject?
Okay.
Go ahead.
I read it a couple of months ago, and Mary, I know you have a message for Van that I need to send him because I have it here. I've been looking for it, so that's why I've been kind of distracted.
I sent you a letter on different stuff. Yeah.
But okay, this is called Things to Ponder by Mary Caldera. Dr. Watson, do you find it perplexing that mask wearing is causing vexation? Sherlock, does this just concern our nation or across the pond? Are mask wearers fond of the task of continuing to wear a mask? Uncovering things involve quite a task. A vaccine surely can be ouchy, but is crucial, according to Dr. Fauci. Sherlock, should we wait out this mystery until the pandemic is history, or solving it no matter what? Is it worth giving it a shot? That's it. Yeah.
All right, Mary.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you
Oh.
very much.
Yeah.
Last note from George. He says LostCon is still on for this year. George will not be able to attend and is planning on calling the Marines to say that he can't do the Toys for Tots drive this
Oh.
year. So I was hoping somebody might be able to be found that might take over for George, so we didn't have to scrap the Toys for Tots thing in the lobby,
Mm.
you know. Now, if I can find a way that maybe I can do it, I just got to figure out what to do with the dogs, because that's a all-day commitment, you know, and 2 days at least. I don't know about the third day, but 2 days at least. So, I mean, I will ponder it, but I mean, if anybody else is automatically going and they were, you know, going to take an hour here or an hour there, I don't know, but you know, just letting you know that that's what he said, is he may have to call them and cancel. Okay.
Well, think about it. Yeah.
All right. Now, Norma Butts is doing fine and is able to shop and drive to her doctor's appointments and like that. Her daughter, Pam, who broke her hip the same day that we heard that Tony Steele had passed, who had originally entered that facility for a broken hip, was just so coincidental, you know. But, you know, Pam came flying out of the house and was running up the gravel driveway, and we don't know why, because Norma was shopping. She wasn't home yet, but when Norma got home, there was the ambulance, you know, taking her daughter away in the driveway. So anyway, but she's back home at Norma's and she's doing fine. It's just that she's having some therapy on one leg that is a little shorter than the other right now. So she just has to do some stretching exercises and get it back where it was. And then the other thing that she would like a prayer from us on, she says her son Rob is not doing so well. And both of her kids, by the way, have been diabetes 1 since childhood. So they've had insulin forever. Okay. So it says, however, her son Rob is not doing so well. First, he had an abdominal operation. And that's always tricky when you have diabetes. You know, you don't want to open the people up. And then they sent him home with a caregiver, and he's better now. And he was outside pulling some weeds the other day when he had pains in his left upper torso. So it said they gave him an x-ray that revealed that there's some sort of a mass there, but they don't know what it is. And they're hoping it might just be an overworked muscle. So she would like everyone to please keep Rob in your prayers and in your, you know, healing thoughts and like that. Okay. Then I talked to the Cassidy Curtises, that's Tim and Jamie.
Yes.
And she did most of the talking. They're still in that, what was a new home when, I mean, after they started off with the Gales, then they moved into the new home in Silver Lake. So it was new to them at the time. And then we've been, you know, COVID and all that. So Jamie is still doing her beading. She does necklaces and bracelets and like that. And they belong to a group called the Searchers. And evidently they have conventions for arts and crafts. And it says these are similar to the ones the Mortons have invited us to. And she made a necklace that looks like snail shells that the leader was delighted with, and said that she's going to be giving that out as a prize. And so anyway, it says that she had to get a new cell phone, which she is still learning, which I can totally relate to. And then it says that they got a new dinette set. And if anyone was in need of a table and 4 chairs, I don't think they're selling it. They just wanted it to have a good home. Please let them know. They would like to find a new home for it. The chairs have a Chinese dragon pattern on them. And the wood is honey oak. And so she says, if anybody can use a table and 4 chairs, even in your backyard, maybe, somebody will find a use for it. Excuse me a minute. Robert Reed is still living on his boat. He found out that a neighbor of his is a lawyer who was looking for some part-time paralegal help. Robert did that for years, and that's what he retired from, and is happy to be making some extra cash at a job he totally enjoys. He says, thanks for
look.
Starbucks, says that's where he can hook up his computer, and his boat does not have, oh, I'm sorry. Oh my God, look at Dan. Look at him. Look at him. The masked man. The
The
masked
shadow
man.
knows.
The shadow. That's funny because this morning in my list where I list all my DVDs, I read through every one of my shadows, all my shadow movies. I read through every
likes
one of the
it.
DVDs, all the plots and everything.
Yes.
Because I finally
Oh, look.
got the last piece.
Arr.
I just received my 1940 The Shadow with Victor Jory that was shown in parcels in movie theaters. It has
Oh,
like 15 segments to it. And I just received it yesterday and watched a little bit of it this morning, and it's glorious. I love
He was such a good actor.
Oh,
The
yes,
pirates.
yes, absolutely.
yeah.
So,
Oh, no, little piggy.
oh,
Oh, you're such a pig, man.
oh,
Okay.
look at that. Look at that. One hat after the other.
Look at that. I didn't think it would work on my computer. This is actually the first time I've tried this on Zoom, and it seems to make me more attractive to my wife. So I might use it again. No, go ahead, honey. Yeah.
Hi, Carol.
Oh, look, he's got him. Yes, absolutely. There you go. There you go.
Oh my
Yes.
You're a pirate.
I
Yes.
would like to tell you my good news is that I am on the English program, master program of English.
Master of Art.
Wow.
Yeah, and from now I like every day time of meeting. I like to talk a little bit. Look like I'm improve my communication in public. Like my goal is to become professor like
Like a translator or something.
I think this one the small group, so I want to improve my to practice my communication.
Oh, absolutely. Because
Thank you so much. Every time,
if you don't use it, you lose it. That's what they say. So you can
Yeah.
talk anytime because that's what they say. If you don't use it, you
use your
lose
brain.
it. I used to be fluent in Spanish, but I haven't used it in years. Okay.
Thank
So
you.
if you
So that
don't,
was my good
yeah.
news, and pray for me. And maybe next year I will finish it, and we will host we have party at my our house, and I have a little very improved. We have new pen and everything. You will
New paint.
surprise.
We have a new garage door, so man, you will not hit your head on the garage door.
all right. All right.
We have storage shelves in the garage, so my collection will not get in the way of actually, like we can put our car in the garage now.
Okay.
My
Right.
Beautiful garden too.
yeah, and the garden is beautiful anyway. So yeah, so I just wanted to update you. Oh, and you're
Great.
talking about the bladder. Not to get too personal, but I had surgery to where a laser was used to destroy my a kidney stone.
Oh,
But they had to go
wow.
up into my body through. Well, anyway, I won't tell you. Yeah, and fortunately, I was unconscious for that. Yeah.
Oh, yes, yes, that helps.
And then I had a stent, which is like having sort of like having a McDonald's drinking straw, implanted in your bladder. And I wore that I had that for about a week, but I was so happy when they took it out, and everything's back to normal now. So
all right.
Yeah.
That's great. Now,
Yes, go ahead, honey.
Is it working?
Hey, hello.
Well, we'll find out tonight. Okay.
Paula.
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I was just going to say, before I go back to my list here of, the calling the Gales, I saw Paula trying to come on So I wanted
Yeah.
to make sure that she got on, you know, I'm not seeing
I'm
her
on.
picture.
Hi,
Oh,
Paula.
Hi.
I just don't see it up top. I have the up top, but when
Yeah.
Dan was talking, I don't see Dan up top, but
Yeah.
then
And I
I saw her
interrupted.
coming. Okay. All right. So I was reading a list and I will put this out in an email, Paula,
Hi.
the ones that you missed, but I was right in the middle
Okay.
of Robert Reed. And like I said, he's doing that paralegal work now, but he said his boat
Ooh.
doesn't have Wi-Fi, but it has electricity. So he was able to purchase a little small portable TV to keep up with the news.
Mhm.
And then Carol Ness, she said that her son got a new job and is doing well. Medically, I discovered that both of us, due to diabetes and the need to see a podiatrist regularly, actually go to the same office in Westchester. And for
Oh.
any of you that are familiar with the main street of Westchester there, it
Yeah.
used to be the Paradise Theater.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
now it's
Sure.
a bunch of office buildings and medical buildings, but we
Yeah.
both go to the same podiatrist. I've never seen
Wow.
her, you know, but evidently we both go.
I used to go to that theater. Yeah.
And then Carol Ness wrote, yeah, I had to go there too because it was the only
Yeah.
room with a cry room. And my mother made me take all three younger brothers and sister. And so I
To the
went
movies.
I went to the Paradise and I stayed in the cry room. And it was glorious because you couldn't
Yeah.
hear all the shouting kids outside, could actually hear the movie, you know, and they couldn't say no to me going in if I've got all these little brothers and sisters with me. So
Yeah.
it was wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Carol Ness said that she has belonged to a mystery book club called the South Bay Sleuths for a long time now.
Oh.
And she says they've been going for years. And one of their members moved to Florida and was kind of homesick and like that. By the way, Carol called Florida her hometown. I didn't know she came from there. I just thought she was a
Oh.
Californian forever.
Yeah.
Anyway, she said that the lady was feeling a little out of place. So Carol suggested that since she's in one of those retirement homes like Paula Salo, where everyone is located close by, she suggested that her friends start a book club.
Oh,
And she
yeah.
took her, and the lady took her advice, and 6 ladies showed up, and the lady
Good.
was, you know, was beaming. Okay, so
Good.
good. Okay, now I was down to just me, and in 1 week I had to get a new cell phone, new car insurance, and a new modem hooked up. I must have a little black cloud somewhere. But my cell phone was the old one that you guys had seen me with before, that old pink one that opens not flipped like a hot dog long,
Uh-huh.
but the fat way. Okay, and it had a total keyboard. Okay, like a typewriter. So you know, no problem in texting. So when it finally went out, because it didn't do apps, it didn't do gaming, it didn't have GPS, and it didn't even have a removable SIM card. The phone was so
Wow.
old, they had etched the phone number inside the phone electronically. So
Oh.
they had to
Oh.
make me a whole new SIM card and everything.
Wow.
So
Wow.
the guy said, I told him, I said, look, I want something simple. I can't do all the bells and whistles just in one fell
Mhm.
swoop. I'm too old. So send me something simple for now to get me started. And I said, but I do a lot of texting. So what does he send me in the mail, sight unseen? He sends me a phone that looks like those old, you know, dial telephone numbers. The number 2 had the ABC on it, and the
Oh,
number
yeah.
3 had the CEF.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Right.
it takes forever to type
Oh.
to do a thing at all. So I had to go through, you know, and wrap it all up and take it to the FedEx thingy, and they gave me a label for it and get
Uh-huh.
that all turned in and everything. And my
Yeah.
car insurance, I don't know. Evidently, I've been with Allstate for like 18 years. Now, somewhere along the way, they no longer give you a discount for longevity. Okay, you're just
Oh.
like everybody else, even if you've been there 6 months. So what they also said was that after 5 days, after your bill is due, after 5 days, they absolutely shut down your account. Well, right when we were having all of those mail problems because of that guy in DC that took over the mail, you know, thingy, and everybody was getting late mail or no mail
Yeah.
and this kind of thing.
Mhm.
So right at that time, and I pay my bills by the mail. They come in the
Yeah.
mail to me. My
Mhm.
mortgage, everything comes in the mail. I did
Right.
not get the Allstate bill. So I knew that a bill was coming up, and I sent the money in, but instead of getting it 5 days later, they got it 7 days later because I didn't get the bill, but I went ahead and sent it in. Well, they had already canceled my account, didn't say anything to me, sent the money back to the bank without a word. They're 10 minutes away in Manhattan Beach, no telephone call, no nothing. Then I send them 2 more payments unknowing, and they don't say anything. And finally, Sacramento sends me a note to let me know that I have had no insurance for the last 3 months.
Oh,
And I
Oh,
call
gosh.
Allstate and I go, you let me go illegal for 3 months with no
yeah.
insurance and not even a phone call? Oh my God. And the last thing I want to show you, they tell me everyone is going to get one of these in the state of California, whether you pay your utility bill to Edison or the Department of Water and Power or PG&E, something up near the border to Oregon. Everybody's supposed to get one of these eventually.
What is it?
It is a 30-page, if you can see me, I don't know if you can see me. Can you see me?
Yeah.
Am I on to you? I don't know if I am. This is a 30-page phone bill with graphs and everything. And evidently, when I got this bill, it was like May of this year or June of this year.
Mhm.
The bill goes all the way back to September of last year, shows me what Edison charged me, added a surcharge to every one of those phone bills. And then they started off with a bill that was $863
Oh,
in extra overage charges month by month. And when you look down at the bottom, it says that there was some bond issue that was passed in Sacramento in either July of 2019 or July of 2020, I forget which. And then they started billing me in the 9th month of 2020 coming forward. And it says everybody's going to get to share in the cost of the wildfires here in
oh,
California.
yeah.
And so this was from that bill. And I have now received a second bill of 30 thingies to pay to add from May through August. And yet my footprint here at the house is so tiny. Here's a normal bill, $65.55. Okay, that's a normal electrical bill for me. And the total for all of 2020 was only $765. And in this great big bill, they whittled that 800 down with some, they found something, it's a sub amount on something. I have no idea what.
Yeah.
But they said, okay, in 6 days, yeah, I had 6 days to reply. In 6 days, you need to pay us $431. Out of the blue, out of the blue. I had to take money out of my IRA for that thing. And now I've gotten a second one.
Sounds like a scam.
Well, that's what I thought, but my brother looked it over and said, man, if they're trying for a scam, it's very elaborate and all this jazz. So I called like the Chamber of Commerce, and she said that she's got a lady, doesn't come to the meetings, but she's supposed to represent Edison. So I gave the name to Van because she didn't have a phone number. She just had a name. So Van sent me something I haven't had a chance to look at yet.
Okay.
But Van found the same name. Maybe she's a dual. You know how when you used to pay your utilities at a little window in the back of a grocery store or something, and you could pay your gas and your lights and your phone. And well, evidently Van found that the same name is on there both for Southern California Edison and Southern California Gas. So
Oh.
I've got to fish through it, see if I can find the right lady. But what is really startling is you cannot get through to SCE. I called every number on the bills, old and new, because they've changed some account numbers. I tried the web. I tried, I tried searching for actual SCE plants. Maybe they're just transformer thingies and they don't allow the public, but there's only 2 of them. But the funny thing is the 2 of them have the same exact 800 number for both facilities, but that number and all the 800 numbers, I called like 6 800 numbers, all to do with SCE. And on every one of them, you get the same recording that says, hi, you've reached our brand new updated recording system. It's going to help you better and everything. However, if you're not having an emergency, then you don't want to talk to us. You want to go to sce.com. And this is the last thing I'm going to say. I went to sce.com. I've been paying them for 53 years at this same location. I went to sce.com, and the only 2 pieces of information they ask to identify you are your name and your email. No address where the electricity is going, no service account number, and I have a customer account number as well. None of that. 2 pieces of information, name and email, and from that they said, we don't know who you are, so we can't help you. 53 years I've been paying them for electricity.
Oh my God.
So my brother says, well, we are not paying another single bill until you get a real person to talk to you.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to try, this information from the that Van, sent me on this lady that's supposed to be the rep or whatever. But it's just so strange to suddenly get this huge envelope in the mail, and you open it up and it's a 30-page electric bill.
Yeah, that never heard that.
Yeah, nobody else
before.
has either. Nobody
It's
else
kinda
has
like-
either.
It's
Yeah.
like on my car, I have something on my
Carol, did you have
Camry.
to sign for it?
No,
Did
no,
you-
I did not. It just came in the mail through the
Okay,
slot in the
because-
door.
Yeah, because if they really wanted it, it would have come certified or registered.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
to show
yeah.
that you received it, so
Yeah.
they can prove
Right,
you received
exactly.
it.
You could say,
You
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
because that's what they do. I did that for 33 and a half years.
Oh yeah, no. I'm just and you're right, but I'm just saying no, it did not come either one of them. They were
Yeah.
just pushed through the door,
Wow.
But
Yeah.
how strange that nobody else has gotten one,
Well,
but
I've had
it's just weird.
my car for about 3 years, and literally like in the middle of a drive, like the GPS stops working, and it's
Oh.
the one that's on the screen in the car, so it's very high tech. And
Right.
yeah, you guys, some of you have driven with me, like Paula, where I really need a GPS because I'll take us out to Timbuktu,
Yeah.
but it's but then I found out yesterday doing some digging, there are a lot of bad reviews online that say, Toyota, your apps only work about 30% of the time. And I thought, well, maybe it just maybe it just stopped working because it hasn't been
Oh.
working for like 2 weeks. And then I found out my car had this message that says you have to pay for GPS now, and you have to and you cannot use it unless you subscribe. And so I looked at the app, and it's $14.99 per year to the App Store. So I paid for it, and now it's working. But there was nobody told me, there was no message. It just stopped working for 2 weeks. And so after you have to kind of investigate it and say, oh, that's what they want. They want money. So
Well, they used to call that highway robbery.
Yeah.
That term,
Yeah.
highway robbery,
Well,
I mean,
that's so you
it's
get
not-
on the highway.
That's what
Yeah,
I meant, see?
Yeah.
That's what I
$15
meant.
a year
Yeah.
compared to Carol's story. It's like anticlimactic, but but that, you know, it's just the way that companies
Yeah.
handle
Oh,
things
yeah.
is not very
Well,
good.
Oh,
well,
by
you
the
can
way,
do,
okay.
well, you can do what, you can do like, you can get a Garmin like I use, and you
Yeah,
can use it
yeah.
on your phone, and you don't have to pay for it that often. You just have to
I know.
reload it every
Oh.
so often off of your
Yeah,
computer.
and we were using the one, Paula, on the iPhone, because I bought a holder for the iPhone that goes on the windshield, like a suction cup.
Yeah, that's
So I've been doing that for the last week. But you know, one of the reasons I like the car was, oh, it's got a real like high tech. I can pretend I'm Captain Kirk. You know, it's got
right.
this high tech
Yeah, exactly.
thing in the middle of the console, like you know, beam me up, Scotty. But now it works. So, but I just have to pay for it.
By the way, I have some really good news. I don't know how
Good.
many of you knew, but about a year and a half ago, Don Abrams started losing his sight, and
Oh.
he
no.
thought he
I
had
didn't know that.
thought he had macular degeneration. He has a little bit of it, but he thought it was massive, and he was still driving, you know, all this time. And when he would come in, you know, I hooked up electricity in my garage for him to put his freezer in there, because it saved his job for him during COVID, because he drives that food around and he had to find another place to put the food. So anyway, but the point is that all this time he has not been able to see. He said, I can see 6 feet in front of me, as far as if I was standing in front of the street sign, I could read it.
Oh.
But he could not read. He could see to people crossing the street. He could see other cars. He could not read anything. So he absolutely needed his GP. Well, guess what? I kept telling him, go to your regular optometrist, get your glasses checked. I didn't know, and he didn't realize how long it had been. He went in there, and all they did was make him a new pair of glasses for what's wrong with his eyes right now. And he says, my sight is like it was when I left high school. He is so excited. He can see everything now, you know. I mean, he couldn't see me hardly in a chair 15 feet away. He couldn't, if I said, oh, you know, oh, look at this book, he couldn't even see the book that I was holding up in the air before this. And now he can see beautifully.
Good.
Oh,
That's
God.
good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good news.
Good news.
Yeah.
He only has a little macular degeneration, just a little, and he can take a pill or something for that. So,
Oh.
But
yes.
it makes it hard to drive if you're in an unfamiliar area, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
But-
So that's why he liked the GPS, is because it would say turn right here, and he could
Yeah.
see as he's approaching the turn, he
Yeah.
could see that, you know. Exactly.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
So anyway, my daughter got a message on the computer from Canada, and a relative of Johnny's first wife, who was from Newfoundland, her name was Bertha King, and she just passed away.
Oh,
So we
Aw.
asked for prayers for her soul and comfort for the family.
Okay.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
sorry to hear that, Mary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, it looks like you got new headphones.
Yes, my daughter bought me these yesterday, and this is the right side. She said, this thing here tells you this is the right ear. And
Right.
Okay.
left ear, and it works beautifully. So I'm really happy because
And your microphone's working quite well too.
yeah, it's kind of built in, I think, with this.
Yeah, it's built
Yeah.
into it. Well, mine's exactly like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and our library group is still meeting on Zoom for our friends group until things
Okay.
kind of get better. So that meeting is going to be Tuesday night. And then this coming Saturday, thanks to Dan and his wife, I joined up with the Shaka Sherlockians, who have some members here in Hawaii. And they're going to have a Zoom meeting on Saturday, and they're going to have a guest speaker. So that's very exciting. So
Yes. So can you hear well with the new headphones?
yeah, beautifully.
Oh, great.
Such a
That's
help.
great.
Yeah, we don't have a dog here right now, but we will have one. We're dog sitting starting Saturday, and the dog's
Oh.
name is Pirate.
Oh,
Well, you had
wow.
a dog there last time because it was wilding all over the place.
Oh, we had Edison, who was kind of bouncy and little, and then
Yeah,
last Saturday,
yeah.
we had Doberman and part boxer, part Rhodesian Ridgeback for the day. Yeah, try to sit in your lap. You know?
Oh.
No, a Ridgeback. Oh my goodness.
Oh
Lord.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah.
Yeah,
That
there's
must
a
have been
movie recommendation. It came out a few years ago, but I just finally saw it on Amazon, and you can see it for free on if you have an Amazon account. But it's Isle of Dogs. I don't know if anyone
Oh,
heard of it.
God.
It's an
Oh, I
animated
remember
movie.
hearing of that. Yeah.
Yeah, with
I've
Bryan
heard about
Cranston.
it.
And it's
Uh-huh.
weird. It's a science fiction in a way because it's in the future in Japan, and there's this age-old war between dogs and cats, but the Japanese government ends up exiling all the dogs to this island.
Okay.
And I won't give away the ending, but if you're a dog lover, you should check it out.
Okay, sounds good.
Aren't we all dog lovers?
We are. We are.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Yes, we are.
How are you, Paula?
Oh, I'm doing fine. I went
Good.
to Disneyland for my birthday as usual.
All right.
Very nice.
Yeah, happy
Yeah.
birthday.
Yeah.
Did you see the Galaxy's Edge, or is it?
Oh, you mean the Resistance?
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
You
yeah.
have
Rise of
to
the
make. You
Resistance?
have to make. I didn't know you have to make a reservation at 7 o'clock in the morning if you're going to go there,
Oh,
and
wow.
you have to be with a group.
Oh,
Okay.
I go by myself all the time. I did get to however, get to finally shoot the gun in the other
Ooh.
Star Wars ride, the Millennium
Oh.
Falcon.
oh, good, good.
I told them I want to be a pilot or shoot. I'm sick of being the cargo person.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
I always get stuck with that cargo. I go, really?
you're just
They got 2 seats for cargo. How much cargo are you carrying?
you don't get to do much.
You should have two gunners. That's what you need, gunners.
You need
Yeah.
gunners, yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I
have
want
you
to.
done
I want
it,
to have that
Daniel?
chair that swivels, like in the movie, like where you're moving all around. Like,
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Like,
I don't know what the new one's like, but have you been on the other Millennium Falcon, Daniel?
no, I haven't even been there since they started. Since they started with Star Wars. So we need to.
Yeah.
Yeah, Anton and I need to catch up. But I
You
heard
have
they.
to go. You should go with 2 other people, so all 4 of you can take up all 4 seats.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
And,
Dan,
Take somebody who doesn't mind pushing the button for cargo.
if I'm a driver, I hope they have a GPS on the Millennium Falcon that works.
my
Well,
brother,
that's right.
my brother took me for my 75th birthday, and
Oh.
he hired scooters for us. I mean,
Wow.
just
Oh,
everything. He just we got to see they had that thing oh God, Elsa and
Oh yeah,
Frozen.
Frozen.
yeah, Frozen.
The
They had
show.
they had the play on, you know, and
Oh.
you got to see it like a Broadway show, you know,
Wow.
at the
Oh.
time. And so we got
yeah.
to see that, and it was wonderful.
Oh yeah.
And anyway, we went to all these different places, but he knew just where to go because he and Lisa go a lot. Well, they
Mhm.
go a lot because I bought them season passes for the year
Yeah.
before. So then
Nice.
he took me the next year for my birthday, and he got me the big pin that says happy 75th birthday, and
Uh-huh.
and he
Oh,
got
yeah.
me some another Mickey Mouse pin with that was in a deer stalker and an Inverness
Oh.
cape and that kind of thing, and we just had a wonderful time that day. And I had not been in absolute years because of my bad
Yeah.
back, because I can't walk around, but he rented scooters for us, and it was
That's
so
wonderful.
nice.
Oh, that's nice.
It was very nice.
Yeah.
You
There's a
also get
YouTube
to-
channel.
Yeah.
It's called Defunct Land. Like, like
Oh.
when something goes out of business, like defunct,
Right.
and each video is about some attraction at Disneyland or some other amusement park that's not there anymore.
Uh-huh.
And he uncovers a lot of secrets about Disneyland, like, why didn't they keep the House of the Future longer, or some parts
yeah.
of old rides, like I guess they're gonna if anyone has been to Splash Mountain, some of the figures from Splash Mountain used to be in the America Sings attraction.
Oh,
And they took those figures and, moved them over. So yeah, it's on
Interesting,
YouTube,
yeah.
but it's really
Oh,
interesting.
Daniel, did you ever go to it when it was the Carousel of Progress?
I did once when in Disney World, because they still have the Carousel of
Oh,
Progress.
they
I
have
think,
it
at
there.
Disney
Yeah,
World.
they have it there. But if you go off of Main Street, they have that one the mercantile place to the left when you come through the gate.
Yeah.
They have the figures up on top on the balconies. Those are the figures from that.
Oh,
So
yeah, that's cool. That's like where they move things around so they don't have to. They don't throw away the figures. They'll put them somewhere.
no, they keep it, hon. They keep everything.
Well,
That's good.
I didn't get to go to Disneyland the day it opened like Paula, because at that point I was in an iron lung, with
Oh,
polio.
God.
But I got out the next year. And so the next year, my dad took the whole family down. And the thing is that this was before like the moon, it was before, Armstrong, stepped down on the moon
That was
and everything.
69.
And
Yeah.
so
Oh, yes.
when you walked through, they had a like a rocket ship, standing there on its end,
yeah.
Then you went inside and you sat in seats that they could control, and they kind of throw you backward
Oh,
when you're
yeah.
accelerating
Oh, yeah.
and all that.
Yeah.
And you see the moon like coming. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
But then you'd get out and you'd walk through what they thought the moon
Oh.
looked like. And what they
Cool.
did is they had like a tree that had glass balls on it, 3 great big glass balls, and all the leaves and everything were encased in these balls and like that.
Oh.
And the whole thing had to be redone once Armstrong touched down on the
There are
moon.
no trees.
And then it became Mars. Then they put some more red in the sand and everything and called it Mars,
Okay.
Yeah, those canals, and there were scientists, weren't there, who said there's life on Mars because those lines that we see are canals, and those canals were built. That like somebody, wrote a scientific paper about that, and then I guess it was debunked. Like, no, those could be natural,
erosions
natural,
or something
lines.
like that. Yeah.
And then there's the face on Mars. There's a big mountain that when you look at it, it looks like a face, like somebody's carved this big giant face, like, hey, come on, we're Mars. We,
That's where
come-
they make the candy
come
bars,
visit.
right?
Right, and the
then
rat on
That's the guy
Mars.
who
We look like
invented
you
the Mars bars.
Dan, I don't think you're old enough to have gone there when they were still being like Arco did. They were part of the submarine ride, the 2 Utopia rides, and the boat ride they used to have.
Yeah.
And then TWA, I think, did the moon ride, if I remember right.
Oh, I
Oh,
think
no.
so, yeah.
Well, they
So it was
also had those things that were kind of like bumper cars, but you sat up on top of them and then you just held on and you leaned to the side and the thing skidded across until it hit another one. But they were like bumper cars. They were in a big arena, like bumper car arena thing, but you were actually seated on top of it with a seatbelt on. And then you held on to these 2 little side handles and you just leaned from one side to the other till you bumped into somebody.
Right, so these were air cushion cars.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
at the beginning.
air cushion.
Yeah.
Cars like that.
Well,
The
no,
air,
and
they
in
were
the
air
60s
cushions.
Oh,
Yeah, they
Yes.
were the flying saucers in
Yes,
1960.
And you
right.
felt like you were a
Exactly.
hockey puck.
Exactly.
Then they
were
tried
air-
the same thing in California Adventure with whatever his name was with the tire shop, and you had everybody on
Luigi.
tires. Luigi's, yeah,
Or
Luigi's
Luigi.
tire, something like
Loogies,
that. I
yeah.
don't know. Yeah, it didn't
They-
work. So now they got magnets under there to make stuff work.
Oh my God. They
Okay.
call it Death Race 2000.
But and
No,
they're
just kidding.
changing stuff around again right now.
Mm.
They got
Yeah.
rid of all the kiddie rides that were there that I kind of liked for the kids. I thought it was kind of nice,
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
the little kids loved that. They had this one spot where they go get wet if they wanted to.
Well,
Oh,
one,
Is it like
One
a
day-
big faucet? It was like a big faucet blowing the water everywhere.
one day
Oh,
I
I-
took all my
And
kids
Bugland.
to Fantasyland, and we
On
went
Bugland.
all the way through. We just
Yeah.
went from one side to the
Wow.
other, all the way through Fantasyland. And after we did the carousel, we were really tired. So we just went into that little Mickey Mouse Club theater where they keep showing the
Oh, yeah.
cartoons one after the other.
Yeah.
You know, but we went on every single little one of them, you know, Alice in Wonderland and the pirate's ship, you know, from Peter Pan and like that.
Yeah.
And we just hit the whole, you know, kiddie area with the 3 kids. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh
that
yeah, they
was
got
good.
rid of the mule rides because they kept biting people.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. Chris
Oh,
just
that's
was
part of the ride.
Chris just asked about it. And I remember riding those mule rides. And they
Oh.
also
Before my
they had
time.
they used to also have like a covered wagon that you could take the covered wagon over
Covered
to the
wagon.
village. And and because that's when they first opened, Fess Parker and Buddy Epson came across the river and through to the main street and rode around the flagpole at the front there
Oh.
and had little buttons for Davy Crockett, and I got one of them.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, so it was kind of cool, and I remember the doves flying overhead. It was really fantastic.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
And they had the painted desert where you would see cacti that, you know, after a while they start looking like human beings. And, you know,
Daniel, the one thing I remember is how it smelled when you inside you could smell the sulfur. They
Oh.
actually had the smell that you would get if you went through the caverns. You would smell
Oh,
the sulfur.
wow.
Oh, uh-huh.
You know, it's one of those things
Wow.
I remember. Oh, I have a very acute sense of smell.
Nice.
I
Nice.
do remember
Yeah.
the, you know, the voyage through inner Earth, from Monsanto, where
yeah,
you-
right.
Do they
Yeah.
shrink you
Monsanto
into the
ride.
And
ice
they're
molecule?
shrinking
They
you.
would
Yes,
shrink
yes.
you.
Yeah,
the
Yeah.
big eyeball of the scientist looking down on you.
Yeah, there was too many
Yeah.
teenagers making out on that ride. That's why they closed
Yeah.
it.
That's what they said.
You know-
Yeah, in the
Yeah.
Defunctland video, they said it was very popular with young couples.
Oh yeah, very popular.
When my
It did
brother,
freak out my 10-year-old brother. He was not sure if we were shrinking or not.
Oh really? Oh my
Oh.
goodness.
Oh, I kind of,
when,
I like to think I was shrinking when I was a kid and went on that ride. Yeah, I kind of knew
Yeah.
something was up, because when you look at those little people going through you know, it's like, that doesn't quite look real,
a real
but
person.
Well,
Yeah.
to me, it looked a heck of a lot like. Excuse
Oh,
me.
I wanted to tell you something about this one last time. I just got a chuckle out of my brother, but the kids there were too young to even know to get the joke. But we were on the you know, the tram that takes you from the parking lot up to the main gate.
Right.
And some of the kids saw my button, and I said, oh yeah, I said, I came here, you know, the second year it was opened and everything. And they said, well, what was your favorite ride? And I'm trying to think, you know, like what ride would I think of that
Yeah.
might still be here, you know? So I
Yeah.
said to them, you know what? I have always loved the Jungle Cruise ride, because
Yeah.
I knew that ride was still there. So I said, I've always loved the Jungle Cruise ride. Of course,
It
they
was
were all
closed.
they were all baby animals then.
Oh.
My brother
that's
got
funny.
it.
Yeah.
My brother's laughing, but it took
They
the
grew up.
audience a while to
Yeah.
get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all baby
They
animals.
changed- Yeah, they
They
changed
grew
that.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they changed that, and they had a special thing there on the 24th. They had The Rock and Emily Blunt there on the
Oh.
They're
24th
having the
for
movie.
the Jungle
Yeah.
Cruise movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
And so they said that he got along with Emily Blunt really well. I couldn't believe it. And
Yeah,
she
he
was
says-
a bunch of stunts she wasn't supposed to be doing, and she did them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And they said, like,
And he
what
thought
makes
she
you
was
laugh?
really
And
cool.
he said, Emily Blunt makes me laugh. She's very, you know, very humorous. And
Yeah,
I
and
think,
it's a good movie. I just saw it. It's so funny.
oh,
There-
really?
there's-
Oh,
Oh, it's
Yeah.
a lot of fun. You could tell they had. You know how
I
much
can
money they
understand,
spent on that?
you know,
Oh my God.
they get rid of the headhunters. I understand that. I mean, you know, it was kind of racially offensive. I mean, the whole
Yes,
thing, like,
yes, they said
he'll
that
give
they
you
would
two of
take-
his heads for one of yours.
Right,
You know, people
right.
think that, yeah,
Well,
like,
yeah,
mommy, if I go to
now
Africa, is that everybody's going to try to cut off
At
my
the end,
head?
it's
You know.
Now, well, at the end, it's full of monkeys. At the end, it's Trader Sam's Trader
Yeah,
Point.
Trader Sam, yeah,
Point.
yeah.
Well,
Hey,
you know, there's a pole there where these people are all climbing up the pole.
Mhm.
And then down below, there was like a rhino or something
It's
poking
still
Yeah.
there.
the bottom
It's still
guy.
there.
But what I'm saying is, they were saying that they got some letters that perhaps they shouldn't put the only black guy or whatever at the
On the bottom.
bottom getting, poked
changed
by
it.
the rhino.
Well,
So
they were all
then
they were
they
all
were-
black, but there
yeah.
was one white guy at the
And-
top because they were
Oh,
like
is that,
his,
is that how it was? Okay.
they were
all right,
his
okay.
like native guides, or they were his
Yeah, okay.
the ones who carried the
Oh.
luggage. You know, of course
Yeah.
they're on the
Oh,
bottom.
Supporters,
you know.
supporters.
Like he's
Supporters,
always like,
yeah.
oh yeah, you know. So yeah, they changed that. Yeah.
And they
Okay,
also put
good.
a bunch of floodlights I saw on the river floating so you could see it at night.
Yeah.
I didn't
Oh.
go on it
Oh.
because when it gets dark enough for that, they're having the fireworks, and I went to see the fireworks.
The
Oh,
fireworks, yeah.
Hey, guys,
And that
I have a question, and I don't know that anybody else will know but you guys, but Disney started a while back making real movies of the rides. And I remember that
Yeah.
the second movie was The Haunted House with Eddie Murphy, and it was
Right.
a flop. But the
Uh-huh.
ride before that was an absolute hit. And do you guys remember what ride it was?
Oh.
Came out first, like say Pirates of the Caribbean or something. It came out first and it was a real hit. So they rushed out with the haunted house and it was a bomb, you know.
Yeah, it was there was Pirates of the Caribbean was probably the most famous one. There was Haunted Mansion. There's Jungle Cruise.
Yeah.
Okay, so you
I
think
can't
that
think of the other one.
Disney, okay, so the
Well, the
Disney one of
bobsleds was a
Pirates.
big
Oh.
deal when it opened.
Okay,
Does
I'm
anyone
sorry.
know?
I'm sorry, Paula, what did you say, Paula? What did you
The
say?
Matterhorn bobsleds were a big deal because I went on that
Oh,
with
yeah,
my
oh,
boyfriend.
yeah, no, they were, they mattered.
We waited 3 hours for that. We waited 3 hours for that ride.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah.
did.
Hours.
Oh, yeah, you did. Yes,
They
you
did
did.
do a movie, and it was based on not a ride, but it was based on one of the lands at Disneyland. Does anyone remember? This is a trivia
Oh.
question.
Yeah.
Okay,
Tomorrowland.
One of the
I have
Tomorrowland, yes, that's the
buttons.
movie.
tomorrow, okay.
And
Tomorrowland,
it didn't
okay.
do very well. I hadn't seen it. Is it a bad movie or?
I didn't get a chance to see
I
it.
you see it,
enjoyed
Chris?
George Clooney greatly.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I had George
Okay.
Clooney. I mean, you know,
Okay.
Did you
Yeah.
hear that his wife?
Slightly crazy, maybe he's not paranoid because they really are out to get him.
Oh.
Yeah, oh, okay,
did.
all right.
Did you hear his wife's pregnant again?
Oh, I didn't
Oh.
know that.
Yeah, they announced it. He's really surprised. He thought he'd had his last one.
Uh-huh.
Well, he had twins, so
Yeah, they
now
have
is
twins,
he,
yeah.
and now is he up
Oh,
for
that's
twins
exciting.
again,
Yeah.
yeah.
They did an interview with him, and he's like, "I think this is the end. This is the last one." He was wrong.
He was wrong, yeah.
He says, "I'm an old man." I'm like, "Really? Okay."
it's up to science. It's up to
Right.
nature. Nature
I saw the
nature makes the decisions.
That's right.
You know the Golden Girls he was on, where he was with, I forget the older man that played the detective with him on the Golden Girls. Remember that?
Oh,
It just replayed. And I'm like, my God, look how
on the
young he
Golden
is.
Girls? Oh,
Yeah, he was his.
George
He was
Clooney?
his. Yes, he was on the Golden Girls, and I can't remember I
Wow.
think it was Joseph Campanella or somebody like that. I can't remember, but it was really interesting. It was and I know he started. I think it was Facts of Life or something. That was one of his.
oh my
Oh,
God.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just one of the kids who would sneak into the girls' rooms.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's interesting. What the guy that gets me is I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he did the first thing he did was Buffy the Vampire Killer, then he did Angel, and then he did Bones,
Oh,
and now he's doing
yeah.
Navy SEALs. David, and I can't pronounce the last
well,
name.
David.
It's gonna
Borean
be
or something like that?
Boreans, is that
Boreans.
how it is?
Is that
Yeah.
it?
I don't know how to
Crystal
say,
Hawk.
yeah,
Something. Yeah.
something like that. So
Yeah.
he's been fully employed ever. He's never been off the TV.
Since
No.
birth.
I swear to God.
Then
you
they had
know?
the Friends reunion. I didn't see
Oh,
that.
yeah,
You didn't see
yeah.
that? I don't know.
Yeah, my daughter saw that and she said that was
And
really good.
Courtney Cox, like her first role was in the Bruce Springsteen video. Let's see, Dancing in the Dark, where she's the girl that's in the concert in the audience, and Bruce
Oh.
Springsteen pulls her up on stage like to dance with him,
Uh-huh.
and it's like a big surprise. and that's
Yeah.
Courtney Cox, but she was just a
Yeah.
teenager. So.
By the
Does any-
way,
does-
Trivia.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, by the way, I didn't say this, but when I called the Marbles, not knowing if they were gonna plug in today, and I don't know whether he's mentioned this earlier, but I was asking him, about their schedule and everything, and he says, well, we're not traveling like we were before, and that's what we did, that was our almost
Good thing.
occupation. But he told me that he had opened up his front yard to like a lending library thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he said he's
Nice.
given away all these books, but I didn't know if he had mentioned it to you
Oh,
guys
wow.
because I
Yeah,
hadn't been here to hear
I'll
it.
be right
So
down.
I just wanted to mention that. And they have the perfect location,
Exactly.
across
Right on
from
the
the
corner.
park,
Yeah.
on the corner,
in the park.
across
Yeah.
for the
Well,
park
I
Yeah.
heard there was a guy living in your front yard, Chris.
for a while.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
that get
think
taken
it's
care
bad
of?
news.
Because I was
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
I was gonna bring my I used to have a crossbow, but
Oh.
I'll bring something. I'll come down there and take care of him for you.
I would
He's
just keep
big.
it in a sleeping bag.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's weird. That's
Oh.
not good.
God.
Yeah, I'm glad I
That's
got rid
weird.
of that guy.
Yeah.
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 We think
absolutely.
he's dead. I have to find his social security number so I can look him up.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
But, I know his name. I know his birthday.
and he said that that was his house or his property or something.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He
I-
claimed to be a renter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Does
know you
anybody
might want to keep
remember-
that. I don't know if you want to keep that
Oh.
confidential. I'll just
Yeah.
keep quiet.
A little bit.
Yeah.
That's why we didn't have the party one year.
Yeah.
Right,
know.
right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Does anybody remember the Pike in Long Beach?
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
The
The
Pike.
The
The
amusement
Price?
zone.
The
It was called
amusements,
the Pike,
yeah,
Pike, and
Oh,
it was
the
in Long
Pike.
Beach. Yeah, they
Oh,
called it
yeah, the Pike.
the Walk
Yeah.
of 1,000 Lights, and it was there forever. And it started going downhill after Disneyland opened because
Oh, yeah.
Disneyland was a more
course.
friendly for
Well-
families and stuff like that. But
Well, Mary,
um,
remember what Disney said about going there with his kids and there'd be sailors there with their lady friends of the streets?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
but
And
not
he didn't
all
want
of
their
us
kids-
were from the streets.
you know.
They
No.
had a couple of ballrooms there where you could go
Yeah.
and dance with sailors from different
Yeah.
countries.
But
Yeah.
Disney didn't want his two daughters exposed to that. So
Well,
that's why he,
I
know,
I
he
was
must have got
ladylike,
behind.
yeah,
He must have got behind some guy that had a lady friend with him like that. So
yeah.
that's one of the reasons he did what he did with Disneyland. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
but it was
I
fun.
think-
It was a good ballroom to do. One was the Majestic and one was the Cinderella ballroom, I remember. But you
Yeah.
could also dance with the foreign sailors,
Oh.
Did you?
That was
Well,
fun.
We had Pacific Palisades, as I recall, as our
Oh.
little, roller coaster and
Pacific Ocean
like
Park,
that,
Pacific
yeah.
Palisades?
Pacific
I re-
Ocean Park. That's
Yeah.
it. Near Pacific,
Yeah.
near the
They-
Palisades. Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
that-
one of-
Pacific Ocean Park. Yes.
one of the
Exactly.
they
rides-
had sea lion acts. They
Yeah.
had a
Oh, yeah.
bathysphere. They
Yeah.
had a skyway that went from one pier to the other pier. And I think it's on Ralph's Story somewhere. You can see all of
It
that.
could be
Uh-huh.
things that aren't there anymore. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
the Pike, as
And they
it
used
started,
it in a movie.
Yeah.
A kid was trying to get away from these bad guys, and he took the
Oh,
skyway
yeah.
from the pier
Yeah.
to the pier to get away
Oh.
from the bad guys.
Ah,
Well,
I
okay.
still remember that because it scared the heck out of me when I
Oh.
watched that movie.
Whatever
Well,
happened to Bandini Mountain?
Which one?
okay.
Bandini Mountain.
Bandini.
Oh.
Oh, you mean like Bandini fertilizer?
Oh, it
That's
smelled.
right.
Yeah, it smelled to high heaven.
I remember the guy, the skier. Do you remember those ads with the
That's
skier?
right.
He was climbing it.
Oh my
yeah.
God! That's just
yeah.
I thought that was a riot. He's
Yeah.
skiing on
He was
on
skiing, yeah.
fertilizer.
Yeah. Well,
But there
back to
was
the
something
back
on
to
it
the
now.
Pike, there was a ride at the Pike, and it was like a tunnel of love kind of thing, and they had scary things inside.
Oh.
And one of the scariest things was this supposed corpse hanging down, as you went by, and the girls would scream and their boyfriends would hug them closer and stuff like that. Well,
Oh
when
yeah, that was a reason for it.
when they finally dismantled the ride, they found that it was an actual corpse.
Real body. Yeah,
It was
it's
a real
body.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a real person. I heard about that. Yeah.
I heard that he was like a gunfighter or like an outlaw or something.
or something like that, who
Or-
had either died in jail or something
Yeah.
like that, and they.
Or
didn't
there
know
was
who to
another
give the
story where
body
there,
to.
yeah,
Yeah.
there was a gunfighter, or and they would like, people would pay money to see his body, and his corpse made it from through different, you know, carnies and
Yeah.
ended up at an amusement park in one of those dark rides or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, he traveled quite a bit after he was dead. Yes.
Yeah, he traveled
Yeah.
more than when he was alive, probably.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, they filmed Perry Mason there with Hugh O'Brien, where he was playing a doppelganger.
oh,
I remember that
And-
episode. I remember
Yeah,
that
it's
episode,
really
yes.
a good episode. He was very good in that. And I guess for a while there, Raymond Burr was busy going overseas because he had an island. He was helping out people on an island that he bought
Oh,
and
wow.
supporting the whole tribe and everything. Everybody, you know, and he actually
Wow.
hurt his arm. That if you see some of the shows, he's got his arm in a cast sometimes because he
Oh.
broke his arm.
oh, yeah.
Wow.
Well, he was
So-
actually ill for a while, and a lot of people like Mike Connors and stuff like that from Mannix and other ones took over. You know, and
Michael Renee was on too as a teacher.
well,
Oh,
Betty, and
Yeah,
Betty,
he played a
Betty,
teacher, took his place. It's Betty Davis.
Betty Davis.
Wow.
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
the wife of a really hotshot lawyer, and everybody said, "Oh, well, she's just the wife." But boy, she knew her stuff too, and she
Oh.
was able to help the person. But she took
Oh,
over
yeah.
for Perry Mason, you know, for
Yeah.
Raymond Burr anyway.
It got me when she went on TV because I remember when it came on, she said, "I'm never going to go on that." When it came out, and I'm like, "Okay, you're on it now, Betty."
On it now.
But I remember her saying that. I'm like, "Okay."
Well, my
But,
my grandmother was very straight laced, you know, wore one of those sort of under your dress Playtex bodysuits that went from the bra all the way down across for your panties.
Oh, like a bodysuit. Yeah.
Right, like a bodysuit, but it
Uh-huh.
kept, but it was open at the bottom, and you put your under panties over it, you know, that kind of thing. Anyway, she was very hard to get a smile out of, let alone a laugh. But all you had to say was Raymond Burr, and she'd get the crinkle at her mouth. So
Uh-huh.
once he came on Perry Mason, my dad bought her own TV for her apartment, and she was just overwhelmed.
Whoa.
But when she went into a retirement home, I went up to Hollywood and I scoured all of the shops that had the
Uh-huh.
8x10 glossies.
Oh,
And then when I
nice.
came up with 3 of them on Raymond Burr, I got a 3-way frame. And when she went into the retirement home, I
Oh,
went
nice.
and I put it on her dresser. And then some of the lady neighbors were coming in to meet the new person. And
Uh-huh.
they would walk over to the dresser and they'd go, "Oh, was this your husband?" And Donna
Oh.
would just beam. She didn't say anything. She didn't really nod.
Ah.
But man, she was just loving that.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah. I
That's
love
nice.
how he went playing bad guys to playing Perry Mason. I'm like, okay, now he's a good guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now,
Yes.
did you ever see the movie called The Blue Dahlia?
Oh,
Yes,
yes.
I've got it. I've got it on
Yeah.
DVD.
Yeah, Raymond
yes.
Burr plays the bad guy.
Oh.
Yes. Yes.
And
Yeah.
it's directed by Fritz Lang.
Oh,
And
he's a heck of a
Oh.
director.
Ann
Heck of a director.
Baxter's in it, and it's very good. And there's
Yeah.
twists and turns called
Yeah.
The Blue
Yeah.
Dahlia.
Oh,
No,
it
I'm
helps-
sorry, a Blue Gardenia.
Gardenia.
Yeah.
Right.
thought you-
Right.
And
I
it-
have,
You're- you're
and I have the Blue Dahlia, but I also have Raymond Burr in a movie with a gorilla that like
Oh.
has escaped from a circus or something
Ah.
like that.
Oh, wow.
And that one, it's actually not bad. I mean, for early, you know,
Yeah.
black and white and then that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I have that one. The gorilla, it's not no, gorilla in the
Gorilla My Dreams.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Well, the
Absolutely.
movie starts
was thinking
out
that
with-
too.
This Blue Gardenia starts out with Nat King Cole singing a song called Blue Gardenia.
Ah.
And it's supposed to be in this Chinese restaurant.
Who plays the good guy?
I think it's Richard Conte, if I remember.
Richard, I don't think I've ever seen that movie. I'm going to look it up.
Yeah, and Ann Baxter is in it, and
Wow.
I must be thinking of the Black Dahlia because
And
that
this
was
is the
Alan
blue-
Ladd.
yeah,
That
this
was
is the-
Alan Ladd and Veronica Lake and like that, and that
Oh,
was
yeah.
a terrific
Yeah.
And
movie
this is
too.
the
They
blue-
like Veronica
Yeah.
for Alan because she was short like he was.
yeah, the blue gardenia, and
I'm not
and the,
kidding. He was short.
oh, he
Yes,
was
He was
short,
like
yeah,
Harlan
yeah.
Ellison short.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, he was. He was like
But,
5'2" or
yeah,
something.
Fritz Lang is
yeah, he
quite a
was short.
director, so I mean,
Oh, a
he
heck
put
of a
in
director. That
a
he was
lot
a
of
Oh,
twists
yeah.
and
Yeah.
turns in this movie, and but anyway,
So it's called, what was it called again?
the blue gardenia,
Gardenia. Okay.
gardenia.
I think I've seen it, but I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, well, sometimes you can find it on included on Amazon. Sometimes you
Okay.
look for it there, but
Hey, I got Song of the South, and I got the first Pecos Bill movie. I want to get the second one
oh yeah,
because the
Yeah.
second one's got the woman with the bustle.
oh yeah, I
Do you remember the
that.
bustle? When
With
she
the
was
bustle.
bouncing on the bustle and he's trying to rope her. That's the
Yeah,
second
yeah,
one. On the
yeah.
first one, they had a problem with it for a while because he rolls a cigarette in it. And they didn't like that for a while, that he was rolling a cigarette in front of children.
Yeah, like
By the way, my connection in Canada, who gets me all the old, and hard to find videos and everything, out of the blue, he sent me all 12 of the movies. There's this Russian Sherlock Holmes and Dr.
Sherlock Holmes,
Watson
yeah.
duo that are very
Oh.
good,
Yeah.
And when you go over to the museum that's on Baker Street right now, and you go in, there's this great big wall, they say, where they started with a single duo in a picture, and then they did a great big spiral out further and further and further. And the
Mhm.
spiral is made of all of these photos of all of the Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson,
Wow.
actors all the way.
Uh-huh.
That center one that started it all is those two Russians. And
Wow.
so anyway, I haven't got a chance to look at them yet, but I now have all 12 of them. They did the major ones, like
Wow.
the Hound of the Baskervilles and the the Scarlet the snake thing, and yeah,
Speckled Band?
all
Yeah.
those
Speckled
all
Band.
those ones. Yeah, they did
Yeah.
they did 12 of them in the
Wow.
80s, and they were coming out before just before 4 years before Jeremy Brett made his first television
Okay. Yeah.
thing. They started in 1980, and he
There's
started
some
in
of the Russian
84.
ones on YouTube because I've seen them. And they have it so you can read it, what they're saying, and CC.
Oh, yeah.
Right, no, there's subtitles on these. Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely,
yeah.
subtitles, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
But I thought that was awfully nice. He just did it as a
Yes,
surprise for me.
Yeah.
wow. There's all kind. And there's stuff on YouTube that's free, and then there's other stuff you can sign up for if you want to pay for it. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
a lot of it's still
higher
free.
rent.
A lot of it's
Yeah.
still free. So
Yeah.
I've been signed up for, through, I found out that I can use my Kindle for watching movies. I thought it was just for books, but I watched the movies on it, and through Amazon, there's the I think IMBD channel.
Oh, it's free with ads.
Yeah,
The
it's
one
free
that's
with ads, but
Yeah.
for some reason in the Kindle, it automatically skips over the ads. So
That's even
I have
better.
a bunch of movies that I've been watching, and for
Yeah.
free. So it works out, like Butch Cassidy,
Daniel?
Sundance Kid.
Daniel, do you still have your DirecTV?
Oh, we do. Yes. Yeah, I do.
Well, we get Spectrum here on the cable, and
Mhm.
I've
Oh,
got
good.
I've got the new Fire tablet from Amazon, and that's what I'm using for my Zoom right now. I don't have
Oh,
a computer.
good.
I haven't
Oh,
had a computer in years.
yeah,
I just
because I
bought-
know I
just
sent you
bought a
a message saying I will not be able to join you this afternoon, but then I
Well,
found
you
that I
lied. You're
could.
on here.
Yeah.
So just ignore that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a book of old movies by Chris Steinbrenner. It's all the Sherlock Holmes movies all the way back from 1900 up.
Wow.
And so in it, they mentioned this one movie that they said was out of print, and all of a sudden my friend in Canada found it and sent it to me, and it's called, and it's a film that Sherlock is supposed to be away somewhere, and a lady comes to the, the 221B, and she's got a problem. So Watson steps in, and it's called Dr. Watson and the Darkwater Hall Mystery, and it stars Edward Fox, who has been in a lot of Miss Marples and other, Sherlock Holmes movies and stuff like that. A very fine actor, and he plays Watson. And it's a delight. And I had one made up for Jerry Kegley of the Cobbs, and I had it sent over to him. And then because I was hoping he'd do a little promotion for the guy, my friend who's in Canada that makes these up. But it came out beautifully for a film that's supposed to be lost and nobody can find it. It's beautiful.
The Cobbs have a new website now.
Oh.
They changed their website. So you might like to know about that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. I rarely go to the website, but yeah.
Yeah. So, because Van can't always do it where he's at. Even when he does stuff on the line, he has to do it from their lobby, which is very noisy.
That's right. Oh, that's right. He was their upgrade person. He made the changes to it and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
right.
So Jerry finally changed it over to a different site.
I know Van is doing the Zoom meetings. Well, he's helping a lot with Southwest Manuscripters, but I guess Jerry she doesn't know how to share her screen on Zoom. So I was going to help her yesterday, but I think it turned out that the guest speaker knew how to share her screen. So she said, yeah, that's okay, because I have my own PowerPoint, I'd rather do it. So I guess it worked out okay. I don't know, but we're all going to be virtual. So we all have to learn this stuff. I mean, we don't have to, but I wanted to let everybody know, because I know, Carol, you mentioned it in one of your emails about the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar book.
Yes, I have 3 of them now to pass around. I have
a copy of it.
3. Well, for Christmas, I was given all 3.
Oh,
1,
wow.
2, 3.
Okay.
And so anytime we finally start getting back together, I have them welcome to pass them around. And I gave them to Don Abrams, and he's already read all 3.
Oh,
and he
I haven't even finished the first one.
and he said they get better and better. Yes,
Oh, good. Okay.
absolutely. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're what is it? It's a Mycroft. It's Mycroft. It's the younger Mycroft. Yeah.
But they were a gift from my daughter-in-law. She tries to find anything Sherlock she can, and I swear to God, I tell her, please don't spend all this money. I mean, you're the one with all the kids and everything, but she'll give me like 16 to 20 things, all with Sherlock Holmes, like a necklace or a little book that you put in your purse to make notes on, or whatever,
Carol,
and she's the one that found those books.
Carol, how old are your grandkids now?
Well, okay, so the oldest one is 28.
Wow.
And then I got a 25, and then I got one that's turning 21 this month, and then I've got a 16, and then I have 2 great grandchildren, and they are like 9 and 7.
Oh, wow, look at that. Japanese?
It's a woman. I love it.
So, yeah, cool.
宝塚スペクタキュラーデリシュ甘美なるパリ
Boy. Oh my God.
Like a Broadway show.
皆様ぜひ
Game
ご
of
覧
some.
ください
Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
About that.
Who put that up?
That's a Japanese musical opera about Sherlock Holmes,
Oh,
an all-woman cast.
Yeah.
it reminds me of Carol's doll, like it's Sherlock, but it's a little
Right, feminine.
yeah, like asexual, but it really,
Yes.
really
Oh,
nice.
okay. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
No, it's like a musical.
Oh,
You know.
okay.
But the leading character is a woman dressed up like Sherlock.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And
Wow.
Jerry has been telling us about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
They do things like they do things 100% in Japan. Yeah, they don't spare any expense.
But see, their actors used to be all men, and
Yeah,
men were
yeah.
having to play the female roles.
Kabuki, yeah.
Now this is right, kabuki, and now this is the reverse. Yeah,
I just wish they had subtitles because it's
Yeah.
really very good. You know,
Oh,
it's just that you can't understand the words, but it's beautifully done. It's all musical, you know.
Wow.
But
They used to have Sherlock Holmes the
Very
musical.
expensive.
I mean, I it's all, you know, in English, but I have the DVD. I mean, I had the CD from Sylvia that some of you might remember. It used to be in our club.
Oh.
I borrowed it, never gave it back. So
I actually have the old record from it. I think it's a 33 and a third record.
Oh, wow.
You know, but it's a huge
Yeah.
thing, and it has a little pamphlet with it with a few pages where you see all the actors and everything like that. But I actually have have that 30. I think it's so big it can't be a 78. It's got to be a 33 and a third. Yeah.
A couple of years back, they had Takeoff on the Hound of the Baskervilles here, called Baskerville.
Oh.
And it was on stage, and it was done by an all-female cast. And it was really well done. It was kind of a takeoff on Hound of the Baskervilles. It was just called Baskerville. So that was live on
That's good to know.
That was
yeah.
Thank you, Chris. I need to get to the grocery store then and
What is this about zucchini? What is that?
take care of my neighbor. I didn't know that. Wow.
Zucchini is a very prolific vegetable when you grow it. And whenever you grow it, you usually end up with huge numbers all at the same time.
Right.
And so part of the whole, you know, silly days for things, just like earlier, Thursday this week was National, you know, Underwear Day.
Yeah.
Today is National Sneak a Zucchini onto your neighbor's porch day.
Oh my God.
Oh, lovely.
I thought there was some relation to the Christmas pickle or what is the pickle game? There's a pickle game, isn't there, where you throw the pickle, or I don't know.
No, you put
Never
the
really
pickle
got
on
into
the
that.
tree. It's the Christmas tree, you put the pickle on it, and you kind of hide it.
I hide the pickle. Yeah.
You hide the pickle on the Christmas tree. And the object
Okay.
is that when the kids come down to get their presents, you want them to look for the pickle first so they can appreciate all the ornaments before they, grab their gifts. So the one who finds the pickle gets an extra present.
Oh, thank you, Mary. Okay. I never knew the rules of that.
That's the rule.
Thank you. I remember. Oh, wow. Oh, it's the visitors. They've come for me finally.
And is that your new page, Van?
We come in peace.
Yeah, he said it was
Shoot to kill. We come in peace.
he's starting his up Ben Hammer again. Right.
Oh yeah. Has anyone seen Mars Attacks? Yeah, it's like
What happened
to
is
help you, and then they just keep killing Earthlings, but they had this they had the message playing saying we come in peace, but then they
right now there's all this talk online about them redoing Forbidden Planet.
Oh,
I heard that, yeah.
And but so far the scripts they've come up with have been so crappy. Nobody wants to produce them.
Well, I hope the new Indiana Jones has a good script.
There's a new Dune.
The original was so good, nobody can surpass it. And so what I did was, for one of the science fiction pages on the new Hammer thing, I took and animated the C-57D ship, so I can use it on the webpage. I haven't put it all up yet, but I will be doing it soon. I'm starting Ben Hammer again. It's going to be online.
I love that. That's great.
And there's going to be all kinds of links to movies and science fiction.
Hey,
and
Van,
Sherlock.
Van, have you seen the previews for Dune? It looks wonderful. Have you
Well,
seen
Yeah.
the new previews for that?
I've seen the previews,
Yeah.
and the young fellow they've got to play the
Paul.
Paul, yeah,
Yeah.
Atreides.
Mhm.
He looks very good. However, the rest of it doesn't look as good as it should.
Oh.
I have to admit that I liked the original movie. It had some flaws,
Yeah.
but it was extremely good.
And directed by David Lynch. Yeah, and starring Kyle MacLachlan.
well,
who
the
also
biggest
was in Twin Peaks.
the biggest problem with the movie was
Yeah.
that it was way too expensive
Oh,
and
Yeah.
okay.
didn't make enough money, and they had to cut parts of it because
Yeah.
it really holds up really well if you can see the right parts. And I liked Sting as Fane too. Sting made an excellent
Oh,
Fane.
Sting. Yeah, Sting was great.
Oh,
and,
he was so good in that part.
And Jose Ferrer played the Emperor.
And of course, Captain Picard was in it
Yes.
as the soldier who came on board with the rebels. And
Yeah.
but when it occurred to me was this story about families battling each other for control of a valuable commodity is the same thing they did with Game of Thrones. It's
Yeah.
really the original Game of Thrones,
Hmm.
you know, and I like the idea of making movies based on older science fiction.
Yeah.
I wish
yeah.
they'd do more of that. I'd
Yeah.
like to see some of Cutler's work, Lewis Paget, done as a movie. So far, they've only done a couple of TV shows and one movie called the Boring Girl, Mimsy, something Mimsy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
it was flawed. You know, it wasn't the original story.
There was
Yeah.
they're working on the Foundation from Isaac Asimov. is
Yeah,
it?
the Foundation
Yeah,
trilogy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they had better get the right people to make it.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I heard
because
that McCaffrey's son made a deal to do some of her books from Pern. So
Oh,
I don't know
that's
if that's
great.
going to come.
well,
I don't know if that's going to come up or not.
the weird thing was parts of Avatar were McCaffrey.
Oh, yeah. they
Yeah.
were
Oh,
lifted.
yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. The Dragon
You know.
Rider. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Avatar is good. I mean, it's very, I mean, not unlike Star Wars, it's very derivative of other sources.
Well, it's disjointed. You know,
Yeah.
like that Schwarzenegger film, you know, about Mars. Half of it is one movie, Dreams of Electric Sheep, and the other half of it, the other half is John Carter on Mars.
Yes.
You know, it's like two movies put together.
Yeah. Yeah. Like Total Recall, I guess was.
Oh.
You know,
Yeah.
Was
The first
we can
half,
remember it for you wholesale. The same author.
Yeah, and then the second half was John Carter of Mars.
Yeah.
They even had the terraform machine
They
that the
did.
Martians left behind.
Yes.
The whole thing right out of John Carter.
I
And
was
when
surprised.
I know.
they
I'm surprised
did John
about-
Carter,
Yeah.
you know, when they did John Carter as a movie, it had some great stuff in it, like
It did.
the what do they call them, the forearm people, the Tuaregs or
Yeah.
something. They
Yeah.
were well done.
They
I
were.
like that. But the story was kind of disjointed, you know. So I'm very critical of when they turn old science fiction, golden age stuff into film. you know, but
Yeah, I've been
Um,
going back and reading The Island of Dr. Moreau and The Time Machine. It's just very well done. It's just, you know,
I mean, they did that movie, I, Robot, which had nothing to do with Asimov's book,
Oh,
you know, but what they should have done was they should have done Daniel and Oliver about the detective in the future
yeah.
with a robot assistant. That's what they
Ah.
should have done. You know, that's a good series of stories.
It
Also,
is.
Lean Times in Lankmar, the Fritz Leiber series.
Yes.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah,
with-
and you know, I mean, I've seen some kind of derivative TV shows, like even Alienation, even though it was an alien and not a robot, it was, you know, a detective, and then his assistant is trying to understand the, you know, how the culture works, and
Yeah.
not doing a very good job of it.
yeah,
I
it
like
was,
the
it was
series.
pretty good.
I
Pretty
like the
good.
series. I thought the
Yeah,
series was
yeah,
fun.
Alien, yeah.
You know,
Really interesting.
No. Someday someone will get
but-
it right. I
but
don't know. Hollywood has a
but-
way of.
but
messing
I
things up.
want to see Fawford and the Gray Mouser
Yeah.
done correctly.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Oh, I
Yeah.
saw a movie that came out about 15 years ago called Solomon Kane, and it's based on the Robert E. Howard stories, where it's kind of like Conan, but he's a 16th century Conan, but he's also very religious. He's like a Puritan in England, but he's fighting, you know, witches and Satan and all this other, you know, and the movie was pretty good. I thought, well, why did this movie get more attention? I don't know.
Well,
Which movie?
the Fritz Leiber
Solomon
stuff,
Kane.
the Fritz Leiber stuff reads more like a version of Pirates of the Caribbean,
Yeah.
except in a different time, you know, and
Yeah.
a different world, because it's got the humor, it's got the action and the humor and the mystery all rolled in. Fritz Leiber, I met him one time. He's a very interesting writer. You know.
Yeah. I remember when Bill Crawford gave him his Luger in a case.
Oh,
Oh.
fabulous marble.
Fabulous
Fritz
marble.
loved it. He thought it was great when he gave him that.
Oh, the Mauser. Yeah.
The Mauser, yeah.
Well, I am going to
Very
cook
nice.
up something here.
Our chef.
Looks like it.
Yeah, let's give some shout out to Van for his Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
You know, if you have problems with your watch, you just, you know, put the very best butter inside the watch, and
Well, I've decided that this is the party I want to belong to.
okay, yeah. I
The
think
Alice
that's-
party,
That's the
The
best
Alice
party. Yeah,
party.
the Mad Hatter.
yeah.
You know,
We're all mad here.
we're all mad here, but
Well, at
you
least
know,
they admit
but
to
you
being
know
crazy.
what?
Stop making hats.
What's that? What's that Cheshire Cat say about the best people are? We're all mad here, but the best people are.
The best people are.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
And my mother used to tell me, you know, don't insult somebody or tell them you don't like the way they're dressed. And she would quote from Alice in Wonderland when the Mad Hatter would say, young lady, you are not a person of style. I don't like what you're wearing. And she says, never make a comment on the way someone looks unless they ask you first.
Oh.
You're very rude. And,
Remember, my mother said, "No, don't pick your nose; your brains will fall out."
or you'll poke your brain.
Too late.
You'll poke your brain out. You'll poke your brain out.
Like in National Lampoon's Vacation, they get in a car accident and the boy has his fingers and I poked my brain because he had his finger in his nose. I always like, oh, make a note. Don't pick your nose while you're driving. You know, you could have an accident.
Right. Either Randy or Rusty. I can't remember the kid's name.
Yeah,
right.
Rusty.
Yeah, Rusty, yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm going to have to shut things down in about 5 or 6
Oh,
That's
minutes.
okay.
Yeah, I have to go too. I
Me
just,
too.
you know, yeah. gearing
Doing
it to
some
this
work.
time slot. I've got somebody coming by and I have
Okay.
to get something done. It
Oh.
was
By the
very
way,
nice seeing all of you
Good
seeing
today.
everyone.
Very
Yes.
nice.
So nice to
And I-
see everybody.
And
Yeah.
I'll send out that email with all the people I talked
Thank
to and
you.
everything.
Very good.
I'll
And
get
thank you,
that
Carol,
out.
for calling. Yeah, for calling and, you know, asking for updates. Okay, let's see. I told you guys about the kidney stone. I told you about Anhthao getting her, working on her MA
Right.
in English. We're gonna, all the, you know, my classes are gonna be online except
Mhm.
Cal State LA, I'm gonna be showing up on Wednesdays.
Oh, okay.
They want us to show up at least once a week, and so I'm going to have in-person classes on Wednesdays, office hours. So it's the first time I've been on campus in almost 2 years. So
Wow. Yeah.
Oh,
Is
you-
Anhthao still going to UCLA?
no, she's going to National University, 100% online.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I kind of been, you know, kind of like standing, you know, sort of eavesdropping on her classes, and they're really difficult. She wrote an essay on the Metamorphosis, the story where the man
Right.
turns into a giant bug.
Yeah.
It's very
Oh,
interesting.
Dan, you just reminded me that when I was trying to hook up today, I'd gotten a last minute call from the Mortons. And I just
Oh.
forgot to tell you when I asked them what they were doing.
Uh-huh.
He said, well, first of all, when I was teaching classes at the beginning of COVID, I was able to do them online. And I think he said, thanks to you or something. He
Oh,
talked with
well.
you or whatever.
Ah,
And then he
Good.
said, he said that in the spring, the enrollment was way down for classes for
Oh.
these spring ones. So he
Hmm.
wasn't put on the schedule. However,
Oh, no.
he has been put on the fall schedule.
Oh,
So
good.
he's crossing his fingers that, you know, that's going to work. But what they've been doing every single weekend, they have been going to these online conventions.
Wow.
And they're Zoom, they're on Zoom,
Hmm.
Very nice.
but they're all these different online conventions every weekend. And so he says that this is why sometimes he can't plug in here because the
Yeah.
timing isn't right for
Wow.
something they already set themselves up for. You know
Oh,
what
yeah.
I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's
Well,
what
that's
they've
good.
been keeping their, how they've been keeping their time.
Good.
And LostCon
Thank you.
did that last year for LostCon. They did it online.
Yeah, I
That's
wonder if
pretty good.
LostCon will be in person this year or online.
Yes, in person.
Hopefully.
In person.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're
Wow.
required to either have a COVID vaccination or a clean test within the previous 3 days.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well,
They-
that's why George said he was going to have to cancel the Toys for Tots thing because he
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to be there, see, because it's going to be in person. Yeah.
George has a funny story where I gave him something for the donation where it's for some reason I bought a Jesus Christ action figure, and you could, like, he has like 6 or 7 different sayings, you know, and this young man came and he wanted to buy it. I mean, he wanted the doll, but he thought it was Obi-Wan Kenobi, you know, so or Qui-Gon Jinn. But it'd be funny, you get it home and he's saying, the meek shall inherit the earth, you know, or he's like, I don't remember that in Star Wars.
Yeah.
I hope what they might do if they do have it live, I hope they do some stuff on Zoom for people like Mary who can see some of the convention.
Yeah,
for
that would be
LostCon.
nice if maybe
You
they
know?
do like a hybrid, like I'm gonna be doing some of my classes as,
Because they did that. Did you hear about
hybrid.
Did you hear about Scarlett Johansson and how she's pissed at Disney because of
yeah, because
Black
of,
Widow?
yeah,
Because of Black Widow?
that's
Oh.
interesting controversy. Yeah, it's an
Oh
interesting
yeah,
thing.
it's eating into what she's gonna get from the movie.
Yeah, because
They put it online.
it diminishes it when they say, well, we're having our big premiere of this new movie. Oh, and it's online also, if you want to see it.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
and it eats into what she's gonna be getting because she's got part of her deal was to get money for the movie, money that came in for the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's taken in like less money than any of the other Marvel, you know, movies, and they
Well,
didn't tell her.
Jungle Cruise is gonna have to do very well because they spent a lot of money making that movie. They
Yeah.
built Hawaii and they built a whole city and everything. I swear to God, they put so much into that.
Oh, there's
And
Bill,
also
there's
Atlanta.
and
So-
Ben's hammer is breaking some walnuts there. You know, Anhthao and I have a friend in Modesto who's a walnut farmer. And we went and spent the weekend with him, and we rode in the parade for July 4th on his 1928 Ford truck.
Wow.
And we pretended to be characters from The Grapes of Wrath.
Uh-huh.
But you know, Modesto is it's the birthplace of George Lucas. So,
Oh.
but he, you know, it's really like out. It's like true farmland.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
It's a small little community.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which will
Anyway.
never grow to be as big as, as Bakersfield. Yes.
No. Bakersfield looks like the big city compared to,
I
okay.
lived in Bakersfield years ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Paula would love to stop there to eat because they have a lot of Basque food.
Oh, the Basque
Oh,
restaurant.
yeah,
Wool,
they're
I think it's called
marvelous.
Wool Growers is probably the main one.
Oh,
Really
we,
good.
oh,
Wait.
if it was there, we ate there because she loved to stop there to eat. I tried to get
Guys, I just want to say goodbye. My dog is here reminding me
yeah.
that we're supposed to
Goodbye.
be doing
I'm
something
gonna
right
do some
now. So
homework.
anyway, thank you so much. I'm
care.
so
Okay.
glad to
Good luck
talk
with-
to
good luck
all of
with your-
you.
good luck with your phone bills.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Van, thank you for putting up the LostCon information.
Yeah.
Oh, and for Daniel, the plan is that they will have one room that will also have camera equipment so people can participate virtually.
Oh,
Okay.
That's great. I
good.
like
Yeah,
that. That's
yeah.
fantastic. Because people like there's a lot of people like Pat who are fans, and I think they'd like to see that, but they
Yeah.
can't come all the way over here to see.
Right, but Pat
stuff
doesn't
in
have a
action.
computer, so it doesn't help.
Just
Yeah.
for Mary. Oh,
So,
is he hang loose?
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Aloha,
Mary.
Mary.
Hey, guys,
By the way-
you know, yeah, what do you call
Oh, no.
someone with no body and a nose?
Doesn't
Body
matter,
and
they
a
won't come
nose?
anyway.
Nobody knows.
Oh.
Very good.
I like that.
Okay. God bless everyone.
I'm
you.
having problems with
Bye.
my cursor here. It won't
Thank
go
you
down
for the
to
mail, the care packages, Mary. I really appreciate
Oh,
it.
you're welcome.
I'm trying to get out of here so I can go play with my dog.
Okay, bye, everyone. You click
Bye-bye.
on
Take care, and
click
thanks for
on
hosting.
the red button that says leave.
I don't have a
Find the
red button.
The
I have
lower
a red
right hand
button that
corner.
Oh, I know where that is, but can I get to it?
Hi, Carol, Mary, Van, Paula,
Okay.
Good seeing you. Good seeing
Yeah.
you.
and
Everybody.
Chris.
I'm glad you got a new headset. It seems to work quite well.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Yeah. What time is it there anyway?
I have no clue. So,
You don't know what the time is?
no. Let me-
I don't know
let
what
me
the time
check on
difference is for Hawaii.
It's, I can't see the clock from here, but anyway, it's when it started,
Hi, man.
when the meeting started, it was 11 o'clock here, when the meeting started.
Okay.
11 in
Gotcha.
the morning. Yeah,
In the morning. Okay.
yeah, so,
Yeah, I was just curious about how that would work for you
Yeah.
guys.
yeah.
Glad
So
Well-
it's early.
I found the leave meeting thing and I found the arrow, so I'm
Okay.
going bye-bye.
Well, nice to see you both, Mary and Paula. I'm glad we had such a good group this
Oh,
time.
it was good.
Yeah, we
It
had a
was
nice
fun.
group. We had like 8 people all at once there for
Yeah.
a while.
Well, thank you all, and
Thank
see
you.
you some other time.
You and
I don't know
on.
what your nose was like this time, Mary, but it's so much better to hear you now. I'm glad
Oh,
you
I
got-
know. Yeah,
Yeah, it's very nice that you got those. Yeah.
yeah.
And I like your background, man. He sent me a background, but I don't know how to use it. So I just put up my little tapestry of my elephant.
That works.
Good seeing you,
Bye-bye.
man.
Bye-bye.
So you
I'm
take
gonna-
care.
I'm gonna put a hole in the phone.
Oh, you hold the phone? Okay.
Bye-bye.
You take care, Al. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
How did I turn this off?
You